Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. And I know you're going to be thrilled you're here today because we have a fabulous guest. And his name is Dr. Jason Henderson. He is a wealth strategist and author of Master Your Millions. He's one of today's leading experts on the infinite banking concept. Interestingly enough, he's a former PhD chemist turned financial freedom coach. And Jason now helps high income professionals and business owners break free from financial drift, learn how to make money work for them rather than the other way around. His message is simple yet powerful: reclaim control, build legacy, and master your millions. Welcome, Jason.
Thank you, Jill. I'm so pleased to be on your podcast.
I'm glad to have you here. We've known each other for quite a while, and I know you are one of the best in the business, and you have, of course, a fascinating background and background, I'm sure. And I really want to know, what was the turning point that made you shift from science to now helping people master their money?
Well, when I was in postdoc at Caltech, I had a professor say to me, "If you're so smart, why aren't you rich?" And it was a question that really drove me nuts at the time. I didn't have an answer. And then when I took my first job up in the San Francisco Bay Area, I thought, oh, I've made it. I've made it. Been to school. I got a great job. I started in 6 figures and I was doing great. However, as time went on, I realized that you're kind of still living paycheck to paycheck. And it really hit. I guess the turning point is I'm stopped on the interstate, attempting to come home. I'm anxious to get home. My son's playing t-ball, right? And I'm stuck. People are honking their horn. Everything's going on. It was just nuts. And it's like thinking, why am I doing this? Why am I in this rat race? And I thought back to that question. I thought, well, I've got to solve that question. I've got to solve how I can become wealthy and not be caught up in this all the time. So really, that was the turning point. I knew how to do research. I knew how to learn. I had become a world expert in my tiny area of chemistry, right? When I wrote my dissertation. So I can do the same thing with the financial world. So I started reading lots of different books and eventually arrived at where I'm at now. And slowly, if you will, I did some things part time and then became full time. And here we are later. So that's the turning point, is sitting on that interstate, wishing I was at my son's game instead of being there.
Yes, and now, of course, you probably have much more freedom, right?
Oh, yes.
Well,
Yes, in fact, we moved away from the San Francisco Bay Area, went someplace else. And like I said, as I became full time doing this, I didn't only sit and watch every game, I was coaching, right? I was there at practice, I was there all the way along and could help the boys a lot more than ever sitting in the stands. So it's been really big joy.
oh, that is wonderful. And that's financial freedom. Well, I know that your book, Master Your Millions, helps people think differently about money. And I'd love to know from you, what practical steps can someone take right now to start redirecting the flow of money back into their own control?
The first thing is you must realize is that you finance everything you buy,
Mm,
right? You're either borrowing money and paying interest to someone else, or you're taking some of your money and giving up that money's ability to earn interest. So when you recognize that and recognize that the whole banking system is at the heart of that, and start to think to yourself, could I do both? Could I have my money earning interest for me and obtain the things of life that I want so that I never interrupt the compounding portion of my money and my wealth? So you could literally say every single day, I am wealthier today than I was yesterday. When you start to ask those questions and think about it, then you're going to start to arrive at what needs to happen, which is, in my opinion, becoming involved in the infinite banking concept and starting a system to where you own and control and become your own bank.
mm, I love that. Definitely, something I think that a lot of us need more of. And, in these days of a bit of worry about money, do you think that's a good solution?
Oh, absolutely. And you say more of us need that. The problem is more of us don't understand that we need it, right? As we go through K through 12, and even in the event we go to college and even postgraduate work, there's very, very little taught about how money works, what it really is, and how the banking system is, if we understood that, a whole lot of things would be different. And what I mean
Yeah,
by is that, yeah, go ahead.
no, I think that that's so true that we don't really understand money. You and I met in a money education course, and certainly before that, I never understood how money works, and I've been running my own business for 30 years. I'm sure you might feel the same, right?
Absolutely.
Well, I know that you're working on a new project called The Wealth of Focus, and I'm just curious what inspired it, and why do you think focus has become the new currency of success?
Because I think we're completely distracted. I
Hmm.
think that social media is bombarding us all the time. And where our focus goes, there can go our wealth as well. Right.
Mhm.
So if we're seeing an ad every time, when whether on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you are, you start to think about, well, maybe I need to do that. Maybe do that. And maybe over time, then you're going to purchase that. Right. Our attention span is, I don't know, 7 seconds. I don't know what it is now. But when we are able to take a step back from the hustle and bustle of life and all the marketing and information that's coming from us, we can start asking some longer term questions, right? We can start saying, what is really best for me, not only today, but tomorrow, next week, next year, maybe next decade. And I realized that the wealthy, they think in terms of decades and lifetimes. It's not about what do I need to do in the next 2 weeks or what do I need to do in the next month, right? They really have long-term thinking. And when you have that long-term thinking, right, that's what I'm saying is your focus. I think the rarest commodity today is human attention. And that is what's being paid for by everybody that's marketing, everything that's doing what they're doing. They are attempting to purchase your attention. So there's wealth in that attention. And that's where the name of the book comes from. It's actually a book, The Wealth of Focus. And I think it'll be a blockbuster when it gets finished.
Oh, how exciting for you. And I think you're really right about, it seems like time is actually one of the biggest commodities these days. Not always money, but time. And so, we could translate that to focus, which I love.
Right. That is one commodity we have that we can only, if you will, spend once, right? There's impossible to buy more time and it's impossible to buy back time. However, when we have wealth, if you will, and have then the ability to focus elsewhere, then yeah, our time becomes more free. So
Yeah,
absolutely, I agree with you.
I love that. Thank you. Well, Jason, I know that people are going to want to get a hold of you and learn more and know more. So will you let them know how to make that happen?
Probably the best way is askjasonh.com. It's just a simple little landing page that people can get in touch with me, maybe set up some time to have a discussion. For your listeners that will mention that they heard us on this podcast, I'd be happy to send them a free copy of The Wealth of Focus once it's finished. And this will be completed real soon.
Oh, that's magnificent. Thank you for your generosity on that. So askjasonh.com and let him know you heard it here and you're getting another copy of his free book. So that'll be wonderful too. And thank you for that, Jason. And thank you for being here, for your inspiration, and for helping us think differently.
Well, thank you, Jill. You've been such an inspiration to me too. You've done so many good things, and you continue to good things. I get your emails and information and stuff, and it's like she's doing it right. I need to be more like her. It's really cool.
Oh, thank you for that. And thank you, dear listeners and viewers, for tuning in and to remind you to go to jilllublin.com. Definitely check the resources out there for your public relations and check Dr. Jason's resources out. And we will see you next time. Bye, everyone.